The Olympic Games. Even the name evokes a sense of history, of grandeur, of something truly special. Our journey begins over 2,700 years ago in the sun-drenched valleys of ancient Greece. Olympia, a sanctuary dedicated to Zeus, king of the gods, played host to the very first Games. It was here, in 776 BC, that the spirit of competition, camaraderie, and athletic excellence was kindled. Imagine for a moment the roar of the crowd, the dust rising from the feet of runners as they raced towards glory. The ancient Olympics were more than just athletic contests. They were a religious and cultural festival. They were a celebration of the human spirit, a testament to the Greek ideals of physical prowess and mental fortitude. Victors were not just athletes, but heroes. Their names etched in history, their deeds immortalized in song and story. The ancient games featured a variety of competitions, each testing the limits of human ability. From the grueling stadium race, a foot race covering the length of the stadium, to wrestling, boxing, and chariot racing, the ancient Olympics captivated the imagination of the Greek world. These games were a unifying force, bringing together city-states, often at odds with each other, under the banner of competition and shared heritage. For a brief, shining moment, rivalries were set aside, and peace reigned supreme. The ancient Olympics were a testament to the power of sport to unite and inspire. They showcased the very best of humanity, pushing the boundaries of physical and mental strength. The echoes of those ancient games still resonate with us today, reminding us of the enduring power of the human spirit and the timeless allure of the Olympic dream. Time, as it so often does, marched on. The Roman Empire, with its legions and its thirst for conquest, cast a long shadow over the Greek world. The Games, once a symbol of Greek independence and spirit, were gradually overshadowed by the rise of Roman power. While the Romans allowed the Games to continue, their character began to change. Roman influence brought with it a shift in focus. The Games, once a celebration of Greek ideals, were increasingly used as a platform for Roman spectacle. Gladiatorial contests, chariot races with ever-increasing levels of danger, and displays of exotic animals became commonplace. The purity of the original Olympic spirit, the emphasis on athletic competition and fair play, began to wane. By the 4th century AD, the Roman Empire had fully embraced Christianity, a religion that viewed the pagan rituals and celebrations of the Olympics with suspicion. In 393 AD, Emperor Theodosius I, a devout Christian, issued a decree officially abolishing the ancient Olympic Games. After 12 centuries of uninterrupted history, the Games were extinguished, their flames seemingly quenched forever. The fall of the ancient Olympics marked the end of an era. The Games, once a symbol of Greek cultural dominance, faded into memory, their stadiums crumbling, their stories passed down through generations. Yet, the spirit of the Olympics, the pursuit of excellence, the thrill of competition, the ideal of unity, these things proved to be more enduring than empires. The seeds of the Games, though buried deep, were not extinguished. They lay dormant, awaiting the right moment to sprout anew. Centuries passed, the world changed. Empires rose and fell, new ideas took root, and the Industrial Revolution transformed society. Yet, the memory of the ancient Olympic Games, though faded, continued to hold a certain allure. In the mid-19th century, archaeological excavations at Olympia unearthed the ruins of the ancient Games, rekindling interest in this lost chapter of history. Among those captivated by the story of the ancient Olympics was a young French aristocrat named Pierre de Coubertin. Coubertin, a visionary educator and historian, believed that sport had the power to transform individuals and unite nations. He saw in the ancient Olympics a model for a better world, a world where nations could compete peacefully on the field of athletic competition rather than on the battlefields of war. Coubertin's vision was ambitious, even radical for its time, to revive the Olympic Games, not as a relic of the past, but as a beacon of hope for the future. In 1894, Coubertin gathered representatives from 12 nations in Paris for the first International Olympic Committee, or IOC, meeting. His impassioned plea for a revival of the Games struck a chord. The IOC was formed, with Coubertin as its president, and plans were set in motion for the first modern Olympic Games. 2 years later, in 1896, Coubertin's dream became a reality. The first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens, Greece, a fitting tribute to the birthplace of the ancient games. The world watched with bated breath as athletes from 14 nations, comprising 241 men and no women, marched into the Panathenaic Stadium, the very same stadium that had hosted the ancient games centuries before. The spirit of the ancient Olympics, thought lost to time, had been rekindled. A new chapter in Olympic history had begun. Section 4. The dawn of a new era, the modern Olympic Games take flight. The 1896 Athens Games were a resounding success, capturing the imagination of the world and ushering in a new era of international sporting competition. While modest in scale compared to the global spectacle the Olympics would become, the Athens Games established the framework for the modern Olympic movement. Coubertin's vision of a global athletic festival, promoting peace and understanding through sport, had taken root. Over the next few decades, the Olympics grew in size and scope. New sports were added, reflecting the evolving nature of athletic competition. Swimming, cycling, fencing, gymnastics, and tennis all found a home within the Olympic program. The Games, once a predominantly male affair, slowly began to open their doors to female athletes, with women's events first included in the 1900 Paris Games. The early 20th century witnessed the Olympic movement grappling with challenges. World War I, a brutal conflict that engulfed Europe, forced the cancellation of the 1916 Berlin Games. The Games, intended to promote peace and understanding, were put on hold as the world descended into the abyss of war. Yet, even in the darkest of times, the Olympic spirit flickered. The 1920 Antwerp Games, held in the aftermath of the Great War, served as a poignant reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of sport to unite. Athletes from nations recently at war competed alongside one another, their shared love of sport transcending political divides. The Games once again proved their ability to inspire hope and foster a sense of common humanity, even in a world still reeling from the horrors of war. Section 5. Expanding Horizons, Winter's Embrace and the Growth of Sport. The 1920s witnessed a period of significant expansion for the Olympic movement. The Games, traditionally a summer affair, embraced the chill of winter with the introduction of the first Winter Olympics in 1924. Held in Chamonix, France, the Winter Games showcased the thrill and artistry of winter sports, from speed skating and figure skating to ice hockey and skiing. The inclusion of the Winter Games broadened the appeal of the Olympics, attracting athletes and fans from colder climates and further solidifying the Games' status as a truly global sporting spectacle. The Winter Games quickly established their own traditions and legends, with athletes like Sonja Henie in figure skating and Klaas Thunberg in speed skating captivating audiences with their grace and athleticism. Meanwhile, the Summer Games continued to evolve, with new sports added and participation records broken. The 1924 Paris Games, held just months before the first Winter Games, saw the introduction of the modern pentathlon, a grueling event testing athletes' skills in fencing, swimming, show jumping, pistol shooting, and cross-country running. The Games also saw the debut of the Olympic Village, a tradition that continues to this day, providing athletes from around the world with a shared living space and fostering a sense of camaraderie and cultural exchange. The 1920s marked a golden age for the Olympic movement, a time of growth, innovation, and unwavering optimism. The Games, it seemed, were destined to become an unassailable symbol of peace, unity, and human achievement. From their humble beginnings in ancient Greece to the grand stages of modern cities, the Olympic Games have been a beacon of human potential and international unity. Each iteration of the Games tells a story of progress, perseverance, and passion. As we conclude our journey through the history of the Olympics, we invite you to reflect on your favorite Olympic memories and share your thoughts on what the future holds for this incredible tradition. Thank you for joining us on this epic exploration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below to share your Olympic experiences, and stay tuned for more fascinating content. Until next time, you beautiful Olympians,